This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's repair video, we're going to hopefully have an easy one here. This is a John Deere GT, I believe it's a is this a 235? Yes, GT235 with the classic John Deere issue of no hood. But it's here. Guy said that even with a new battery, you got to jump it off every time to start it. And I think it dies while cutting grass. Well, this has an electric PTO, so it needs 12 volts in order for it to work. And once it gets below that 12 volt threshold, you start having issues, especially with the ability for the clutch to be able to stay magnetized and hold the blade in place so that it will continue to cut. So that's what we've got going on with this machine. And what it is, and I'll show you how to replace what it is here in just a second. But it's usually, as long as your stator and your wires are good, it's almost always the voltage regulator. These will eventually just conk out and just not work anymore. So you just got to replace them every once in a while. It's a cheap part, but I show you how you can test to see if the voltage regulator is bad. And I'll show you how to do that here in just a few minutes. But I've already tested this one and it's bad, so I can show you how it is bad. I know I keep running in circles here. But I'll give you a quick look around just to show you what it looks like, and a quick little test with the voltmeter just to show you. We'll jump it off and all of that good stuff, and then we'll just put a new one on. Hopefully we have a charging battery again and no more issues with the blades and the PTO. So let's go ahead and get started with it. So here we go. Just want to see if I can show y'all some of the multimeter things going on here. So battery wise, we've got just under 11 volts in the battery, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to jump it off, and what I'll do when I pull it off is I'll show you that it's not charging. So let me do that real quick. Oh, he pushed the brake in, that's why. Go right to the battery here. Like 11.5, right? Should be like 14, but it ain't. You should see 14 volts on that voltmeter. Now, the other thing you can do to make sure that the stator is charging is to just pull that wire, the two yellow wires there, and probe the two, and turn your thing to AC volts. Probe your two wires, and I need two hands to do this, so I'm going to see if I can rest y'all on the tire and show y'all this a little bit better. Probe that, and it should be charging at like AC voltage should be like 16 or something like that. That's around 12, so that's good. When you rev it up, like 25, 26. Which seems a little bit on the low side, but I don't think it's too terrible. Now, in order to get this off, it's super easy. I mean, you just pull the little clips off, pull the plugs off there, and what do we got? A couple of 10 millimeters, 3/8, something like that. And we'll take that off. And I'll put the part number in the description as well. There we go. Ooh, lost that. Lost that screw there. I'll go ahead and screw the screw back in while I've got a little bit of access. And I have the new voltage regulator here. I can get this screwed back in. There we go. Good enough. This mower's from 2001. And this is your part number there on the bottom, 240508. If the camera will focus up on it, I can show it to you. 240508 is going to be what you're looking for, part number wise. We'll slide this back in, put in the other screw here. Go ahead and do that. Try and get a little more in the middle. Right there. See if we can just kind of. We'll get it a little bit tighter here with I think a 10 millimeter socket and ratchet may fit back there. Probably not, but we'll see. Screwdriver will though. Maybe last but not least, let's try a wrench. It's just a tight spot for it to be in. I think we're good. I think we got it in there. So, that's just a matter of plugging everything back in. There's a little indent on the bottom of this plug so that you don't get it backwards. Gotta wiggle it a little bit in order to get it in, I suppose. Okay, and last one here. What we got? We need it like this because there's a couple of grooves in that as well. And it should just slide right in there. Cool. So now I'll hook the jump box back to it. Hopefully that gives you an idea. Hopefully I won't too bad out of focus there. I'll hook the jump box up. We'll test the battery voltage one more time, and then this mower essentially should be done. I'm running low on energy, but kind of cutting it close on videos, so need to get some things out. Figured this would be fun. Show you a little test of a voltage regulator here. So let's see if it'll crank. 14.3 is adequate enough. Alright, so let it run for a few minutes here. Probably hook that thing up to a charger overnight. Yeah, good to go, guys. So that fixed that, which is awesome. Again, some people be trying PTO clutches and batteries and starters and all this stuff. 9 times out of 10 it's just that little voltage regulator. Alright, just let it run for maybe 3-4 minutes here. Turn it off. Start it back up. So, again, I think we fixed our issue. The guy had tried to put a PTO clutch on, or PTO switch on it to solve the issue, but obviously you're not going to solve a voltage issue with a PTO switch, so the voltage regulator definitely. So it's all good, we're ready to send it on back to them. Alright guys, that is everything on this John Deere GT235, replacing the voltage regulator on it. Got everything back going. I think the guy could even return his PTO switch that obviously didn't fix the issue. But at least we got them straight, got them back in the right direction. And again, this is something that you can do at home. You can replace this at home instead of taking it to a mower shop. I've heard stories of people taking it to shops and them doing some crazy diagnosis for something as simple as something like a voltage regulator. People replace PTO clutches, PTO switches, starters, batteries, and never have any success because they're not actually replacing the real thing. Most of the time on these Briggs and Strattons, usually you don't have stator issues with these. Most of the time it's going to be voltage regulators. It's just one of those things. It's an electronic product. They're going to go out eventually, just with the duty that they have to perform in charging the battery, especially with one with an electric PTO. But either way, we're done with this one, and this customer is going to be back in business with his John Deere. Got a little bit of an oil leak. He wasn't really too concerned about it. Again, the age of the mower, it's 23 years old. It's the 2001 according to the engine. So you just, add a little oil here, wash it off now and then, keep on cruising, I suppose. But you got to be cruising with a charged battery, and now he's got that. So I do appreciate y'all watching this small engine repair as we did this quick repair on this John Deere, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Take care.